Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into Meera Syal's brilliant novel, Anita and Me. It's set back in 1970s Britain and gives this really, poignant but also quite funny look at growing up.
That's right. And our plan for this deep dive is really to explore how Syal tackles some pretty big social issues, how she builds empathy, gets you invested, and how the whole thing connects so strongly to, real life back then.
All through Meena Kumar's eyes, the young narrator.
Exactly. We want to unpack what makes it so insightful and why it still feels so relevant.
Okay, so let's get into it. The book's packed with social commentary, isn't it? And Meena's struggle with identity, with belonging.
Mm-hmm.
That feels like the absolute core. How does she navigate feeling sort of in between?
Well, it's really interesting. She's this British-born girl with Indian heritage, and she's caught, isn't she, between her family's Punjabi culture and this real pull towards the English working-class life in Tollington.
And Anita Rutter embodies that English life for her.
Totally. Anita is like the symbol of English cool. Meena becomes almost obsessed, trying to, shed the things that make her different, wanting different skin, disliking her mom's cooking. It's quite raw.
Yeah.
She feels, as she puts it, too Indian for the English kids, but then too English when she's around more traditional relatives. It's that classic second generation thing, that feeling of not quite fitting anywhere perfectly.
And the book doesn't pull any punches about race and cultural diversity in the 70s either.
No, not at all. It shows you the casual stuff, the sort of everyday xenophobia, but also the overt racism, like the use of terms like pakis or that really unsettling bonfire night incident.
Right.
But it's not just a bleak picture. Syal contrasts that with, genuine moments of connection, real friendships that cross cultural lines. It shows the clashes, different social rules, different expectations, but it subtly criticizes that whole us versus them way of thinking.
What about gender? How are the girls and women portrayed within these different communities?
That's another layer. You see the different expectations. Take Meena's mom. She's trying to balance her job ambitions with family duties, which is a struggle many women face.
Mm-hmm.
Then you contrast that with someone like Anita, her rebellious streak, her use of sexuality, the kind of power games she plays. It looks at those pressures on girls from both sides, critiquing some of the, patriarchal bits, while also showing female strength.
And finally, class. Tollington's a working class place.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feed into everything?
It's huge. The economic hardship, the sort of lack of opportunities, that definitely fuels some of the prejudice, the resentment towards immigrants who are seen as, competition or outsiders.
Oh.
But Syal is clever. She shows it's not just about money. It's also about ignorance, about fear of the unknown, about deeply ingrained stereotypes. It's complex.
So Meena's voice, her narration, seems absolutely key to making us feel for her, to build that empathy. How does Syal achieve that connection?
It's that first-person narration.
Yeah.
It's so honest and often really funny, even when she's being self-critical. You get right inside her head, so you understand that universal kid thing, wanting to belong, but you also feel the very specific difficulties she faces because of her background. Her perspective, being a child, sometimes cuts through the adult nonsense and reveals prejudice for what it is.
It feels incredibly real.
Uh-huh. And importantly, the book manages to make even characters who say prejudiced things seem, human.
Mm-hmm.
You see why they might think that way because of their background, their ignorance, even while the book never excuses the prejudice itself. That's a fine line to walk.
And how much does this connect to Meera Syal's own life and its relevance, say, today?
Oh, hugely. The 1970s setting, the West Midlands background that's very much drawn from Syal's own semi-autobiographical experiences growing up there. It gives it this amazing authenticity.
You can feel it in the details.
Exactly. Like mentioning the Gurdwaras alongside the pubs, the local shop notice board. It grounds it.
Yeah.
And even though it deals with serious stuff, racism, identity, class, it does it with such warmth and humor. It's never preachy, and that helps the insights land. The themes. Who am I? Where do I fit in? How do we live together? They're still completely relevant today, aren't they? In all the discussions about multiculturalism, about what British identity even means now.
So wrapping up, thinking about Anita and Me's lasting impact, what should we take away?
I think its real power is in exploring identity, belonging, all that social change with such heart and sharp observation. It really encourages you, doesn't it, to think critically about how these exact same issues play out now.
In our own lives and the world around us.
Yeah, how we see ourselves, how we see others. It's a brilliant reminder that understanding often comes from recognizing our shared humanity, even when our experiences seem really different on the surface, something to keep thinking about.